Call this meeting of the Harriman City Council to order March the 5th, 2024. Before we get started, we'll have a prayer by Councilwoman Harris, followed by a pledge allegiance to the flag.
Father, we thank you for another opportunity to gather, God, and we thank you for every individual that's present tonight. God, we ask that you allow us as council individuals that we make quality and decisions that will best benefit this community. We thank you again for just the opportunity to serve. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
February 20th, 2024 meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Motion of Councilman Johnson. Second by Councilman Bratton. Councilman Johnson?
No, sir.
Councilman Bratton?
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenyon Me.
Yes.
Motion carries. Motion to pay the salaries.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Frost.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Frost. Councilwoman Harris.
Nelson.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenyon Me.
Yes.
Motion carries. Motion to pay the bills.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Johnson?
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenyon Me.
Yes.
Motion carries. This time we'll hear from citizens in the audience. If anybody would like to address the council, please come up, state your name, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. There being none, we'll go into reports. Harriman Utility Board.
All right, the job fair that was held on February 22nd, it was a lot of fun. The City of Harriman was an excellent co-host. There were nearly 350 people in attendance and over 15 employers. Everyone I spoke to was super appreciative of the event, and the outcome far exceeded our expectations. I know for us at HEB, we'll have several folks that we interviewed from that event alone, so that was a very big success. Thank you guys for partnering with us. We're expecting our sewer line extension along Pine Ridge Road over right north of the interstate between the railroad tracks and the interstate to begin sometime around April, so that's coming soon. We're already under contract, just waiting on start time. We are currently wrapping up the last couple weeks of a water line construction project in the Riggs Chapel and Snow Hill Lane area. We'll have that finished just in time for the city to be able to apply for the next round of CDBG funding. Just as a reminder, this project that we're wrapping up was funded by the 2021 grant, so the city will be able to apply for the 2024 grant. Utility line construction within the new Emery Creek subdivision is well underway. We have personnel on site inspecting the water and sewer construction each day, and then hopefully within the next 3 weeks, the developer will tell us that they're ready for our electric to begin, and we'll actually install that with our own crews. So everything seems to be going well. And I will add one more thing about the subdivision out there is we're going in with the city to help fund the sewer lift station that was needed for the development. HEB just awarded a contract for that. We're just waiting on the signed package back from the contractor, and we hope to get that pump station under construction within the next few weeks. Our fiber broadband application continues to move forward. We just traveled to Nashville last week, I think it was, or the week before, to visit with the comptroller's office. That was a very successful meeting. They genuinely seemed interested in Harriman and our community and how we thought broadband would benefit our community and how we thought that the project would be successful. Of course, they are doing a very detailed technical review. We do expect the outcome of that to be good. TVA likewise is doing a detailed technical review of our business plan and our finances, and we expect that hopefully by the end of the month or first week of April we'll have approval from TVA, and then probably we'll get the comptroller's approval within a week or so after that one. They don't like to get ahead of TVA on these things. So if everything goes well, we get the approvals, we'll start talking to you guys next month about financing. Next thing on my list, I don't know if I mentioned this last month or not, so I'll mention it now. The City of Harriman and HEB are partnering once again, because I think we do a great job partnering on things. The next thing is on April 10th. It's called a Utility and Safety Expo. We've never done this before. We're actually working with one of our vendors, Walter A. Wood, and they are organizing the event for us. They're going to bring in a whole bunch of vendors. I'm not sure how many, 26 plus vendors that represent all sorts of materials that are used in utilities, public works, and really any kind of department that does maintenance activities. So we're reaching out to all of our friends in local government around the county and surrounding counties and all of our utility friends, and hope to get a big crowd there. I think we'll probably have around 300 people attend for this first time event. So
Where's
you
it
all,
gonna be
it's
at?
going to be at Riverfront Park.
Okay, good.
You all are certainly welcome and encouraged to attend, and there will be lunch provided. The event is free. We just ask folks to RSVP.
So the vendors, you mentioned that the company is going to be inviting those, could outside other people, if they wanted to set up a booth, who would they need to contact, you or the other individual?
They can contact us for that if there's a local vendor. I went through basically every vendor and looked at what kind of materials that they provide.
Right.
We're going to see anything from like safety gloves and PPE to pumps, manhole type materials, to like safety equipment that you would use to lift someone up or safety hatches. So all sorts of different materials, but certainly if someone would like to participate, it's probably easier for them to reach out to us and let us get them in contact with the vendor.
Okay, thank you.
And the last thing I'll mention, I've been talking for months about this TVA-funded electric vehicle charging station. We were very excited about the project. We still are, but I do want to tell you that we decided to pull out of the proposed site that's downtown due to the uncertainty surrounding the Jerry Duncan Ford dealership, because they were our partner. They also had committed the matching funds that were required for the grant. And now that we're not sure if they're going to remain open or if they're going to sell, we thought it would be more advantageous to the community to go ahead and move that charging station over to Midtown. So we are in negotiations with a different property owner now, and I don't want to announce the exact location in case they don't want to work with us, but we're shooting for that Midtown exit. We did hear that TDOT was awarding a grant to Tesla to do a similar charging station off the Kingston exit. I think Harriman Midtown exit is actually a better location, but we have to be over there to compete with them. So it's kind of an interesting scenario. I didn't expect that, but ours will be open well ahead of theirs. So
Okay. Good.
Ms. Candace, what was that date on that Riverfront Park?
that will be April the 10th.
April
It is a Wednesday, and it's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Candace, I want to thank you for when I kind of spoke to you the other day about that issue. I had taken care of that. Because I'm sure he'll be happy.
Thank you. Glad to help.
Thank you, Candace.
Thank you,
Yes.
Candace.
City Treasurer.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. You have the executive summary in front of you there. And I'm not for certain, but I know that's the largest number I've ever seen for revenues for any month since I've been here. And so I think we had very close to, if not a record month for revenues for the city of Harriman. And just looking at the comparative numbers year over year for the month, we had a 1.05% increase, and we're trending at a 1.8% increase in sales tax, local option sales tax over this time last year. So I expect us to come ahead of what our projections were for revenues this year in the local option sales tax line item, which of course is our largest sales tax, our largest revenue line item. I would also like to mention, not tomorrow, but Thursday, I'm going to be at the TGFOA conference in Knoxville on all day Thursday and part of the day Friday. So that's a twice a year conference. There's one in the spring and one in the fall. And Scott will hopefully be able to attend one of those. We have to get our continuing education credits for CMFO, and that's one of the best ways, I think, to get it. So that's all I have, if you have any questions.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Say Scott is going with you.
Well, I don't think he's gonna go on this one. Scott's a little non-committal on certain, like, he didn't like being out of the office, quite frankly, so.
It looks like maybe somebody broke his glasses.
I guess 'cause I got
We've been talking about taking up a collection for the reading glasses.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll just mention, we've been working on monitoring the annexation of the Slavin property in Midtown and other issues regarding that annexation and so on and so forth. And alcohol. That's all I've been looking at for quite some time. So I'll reserve any comments I have for the workshop on that. But if anyone has any questions.
Any questions?
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of City Council. Report I have for y'all tonight. Start off with our library, and happy to report Tammy had about $1,800 left in the state allotment, and that money was spent on books for adults and young adults. Carmen has been busy cataloging that, so that's just increasing their circulation there. And she was also complimenting, and again, I'm always amazed at how our library gets connected in ways I don't ever imagine. But Tammy mentioned that the job fair, Candace was mentioned, had a lot more new patrons come in the library, and they utilize the services that she offers to complete their resumes. Our homebound program, which we've talked several times, Tammy goes out and delivers to those who are not able to actually come in and check out books and periodicals. That has dropped off slightly due to changes in living situations and people moving in with their children and some sickness. But if you know Tammy and her staff, I'm sure they will make sure they increase those numbers because that is a great benefit to our homebound people. And Tammy also mentioned the children's programs are progressing nicely. I'll talk a little more about the in-service that Connie attended. Here in February, the themes for our children's library, you can see up here, certainly circulated around Valentine's Day, but also included Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, and Rain Clouds. They did have a big Valentine's Day party that included food, Valentine books, exchanging Valentines and games. It was well attended by our homeschool students. The workshop that Connie attended was an early math literacy workshop, and so what she plans on doing that is incorporating more math into the library curriculum, and she said that she got a lot of useful tools, a lot of books and ideas. So as you know, we've reported Connie does a lot of that going to these in-services, and it just helps to make our children's program more meaningful, not only what our library offers, but also for those families that participate. And it's a very brief library report unless Tammy has anything she wants to add. And even though this is not a report day for our events coordinator, all these events will be in the next edition of the direction that we mail out, and I will be sure to include, I asked Keita, the expo, utility expo, I'll make sure to include that we'll have at Riverfront Park. But you can see where Martha's already working on getting everything planned all the way through the end of the year for our second annual ball drop. But I will include that on our next edition. Our first golf tournament, and our golf committee made a decision this year to limit the amount of tournaments, not having back-to-back tournaments, but the first one of the season will be on March the 16th, and it's the Joe Eskridge Memorial. We're hoping for a big turnout on that. Sponsorships and entry forms can be found on our golf Facebook page, on the city Facebook page as well. Picture on the right, it does not do it justice. I told y'all 2 weeks ago our plan was to have the riverfront bathrooms open by the end of February. Talking with Charlie yesterday, we expect them to be open by the end of the week, but I don't know if you remember what the old floor looked like, and this was a picture taken last week, but we pulled up, the guys pulled all the tile up and everything that was in there, and this is a new floor that Councilman Brackett had talked about, so our guys put that down, and while Dave and Charlie's guys do a lot, I was talking with David. He had never done a project like this, but to see it in person, he said, you know, he's not proud of a lot of things he does, but he said this floor down there, what's going to be so good, I think it's going to take away a lot of the smell that lingered in there. It's going to be a whole lot easier to clean. That's the first coat of paint. Our goal is to have them open, and Charlie can elaborate, but commodes, urinals, and sinks should be installed tomorrow. Petitions should be installed on Thursday, and we hope to have our bathrooms open. Once we do that, then we'll continue to finishing up on the outside, the concrete countertops, installation sinks, but we'd like to get those bathrooms open. And as we said before, we've talked to our police department. What we're going to do is monitor those things really closely. We'll lock those 9 at night, and then our Parks and Rec crew will open those at 7 the next morning, hopefully to keep those clean and keep them free from vandalism.
So the restrooms, will they include adult toilets?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We made sure we ordered the proper height on the commodes. Opening day ceremonies, that's going to be on Saturday, April 6th. So if you don't have that on your calendar, that'll be kicking off our softball and baseball teams, and that's always widely well attended. So that'll be on Saturday, April the 6th. I was really impressed with the numbers Charlie put together. I said, how many kids did we have take part in basketball? And that season just ended. Our Parks and Rec crew, they had 20 plus teams and over 160 kids participate. And that's some of the highest participation I think they've had in the history of Harriman. So I asked Charlie, I said, what about baseball and softball? Well, they've had 20 plus teams and pushing 200 kids. So that is really expanding. Charlie has done really good in pushing the wee ball. I think they've got 8 or 9 teams for wee ball.
John Hayrow.
But really, if you didn't get a chance to see those basketball games, we use Harriman Middle School, and thanks so much to the school system for letting us use that gym and the community center. But special thanks to all the people that volunteered their time, not only to coach, but also to run the scorebook and keep the clock. I mean, it was just, and I think we ended up 5 out of 6 championships, Charlie told me. So it was a really good basketball season. The Oasis boat ramp, our fire department went out today where we usually have all that kudzu. They've burned that off, and then we use the inmates of that hill. We're going to try and keep that knocked down, expand the parking lot this spring, and then use our inmates to clean that bank off a little bit. But I showed you pictures a couple of weeks ago, so we're still in the process of that. And then our Clover system update, that's our new point of sale system that we had for the golf course. I don't think I put an example of that on here, but our big incentive in 4 months, if we could reach $10,000 in sales, we'd get a $1,000 rebate back for that $1,900 system. So as of December 30th through March 1st, through our debit and our credit card sales, we generated $10,420.90. I thought we would see a bigger income with debit and credit cards. We still had about $15,000 in cash, so it's not really caught on. But Charlie was really excited. Even Chris was talking about closing out the books on a daily basis, weekly basis. So much easier to operate, and it's gives us just a really good sheet of data to tell what's been going on at our golf course. Just some other things have been going on here. Up here in the upper left-hand corner, our police department last Saturday and this coming Saturday is having a teenager safe driving class. Had about 23 people here this past Saturday, set up an obstacle course, and that's where they put on the goggles and they simulate drunk driving or driving with impaired vision. So that was well attended. They'll finish their session up this Saturday. We've of course got the car show coming up, and that's through the middle school. We are starting our 2nd annual, and it was highly successful last year, our rocking chair competition, and all this is on our Facebook. Fire Department's Easter egg hunt, and then our karaoke night, which the date is wrong. It should be Saturday, March the 22nd. We had to delay that due to the snowstorm that we had. From our codes department, and I'll include this in your packet, these are all the properties right now that we're currently working on to either clean up or to demolish and clean the whole property, or to get turned over to the city for sale. One thing that we have done, and I've had this in here for about a month and I keep forgetting, but we've had these signs made, and every property that we're working on or cleaning up, we're trying to put that in there because in Jimmy's case, he's working with the county, he's working with local churches, with neighbors to clean property up. So if you see those around, that's one of the projects we're working on. All of these right here, we met with Glenn Cofer last week. Some are in greater need than others, but this is just an example of what Jimmy's been working on. Many thanks to New Life Baptist and Brother Tommy Kilby. I know some of y'all were able to make it, but a couple of weeks ago, that church, they reached out. They're so appreciative of what the city of Harriman did during the snowstorm, but what they do throughout the year, and not just the employees, but the city council as well. So they had a luncheon for all of us up in Gates Hall, and it was greatly, greatly appreciated. Picture of Brother Tommy over here on the left, and then just some of our employees that really enjoyed a really good lunch that day. And special thanks. We've got Gavin up here. Not only did we celebrate his new marriage not too long ago, but at the end of September, Gavin is going to be a brand new daddy. Congratulations.
Well,
And I only thought Teresa's face turned red.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, congratulations, buddy.
thank you.
There is a lot going on, and I've missed a slide, which I know it just tears everybody up, but several of our grants, we did initiate our LPRF. I got an update. We have been working on trying to get some of our street lights converted over to LED. I talked to Candace and Heath yesterday and today. The ones on Pine Ridge Road, they were put in, they were old. The company that installed those lights is no longer in business, so we are going to replace those. We're about 3 weeks out for the replacement lights, and then the new ones along Highway 27 and our back roads are in the process of being changed over to LED, and those should happen very shortly. And if you've been down by the interstate, our interstate lighting project is in full swing. And I did email Randy Busser with TDOT, the ADA curbs and all of that they had to do in preparation for paving Rome Street has been completed. So talking to the mayor today, hopefully we're still on tap to have Highway 27 and downtown Rome Street paved this spring or summer. And there's a lot more going on, but unless you have questions, that'll be my report for this evening.
I just want to comment maybe on a couple things that mentioned something, if it's okay. On the driving deal, I know back in the day, it's probably, I know times have changed since I had driver's ed, but would this reflect it for the kids going through the program for the driving? Would they get anything for their insurance?
Yes, sir. They get a certificate of completion verified by our police department, and then they can take that to the insurance agency. And it's a good opportunity because the school system doesn't have driver's ed during this normal school day instruction anymore. So it's a great time for parents to take advantage of that, because successful completion of the course, they do get a certificate.
That's a good thing. I just want to tell you a little bit about the Ford that I had mentioned to you guys. I'm so glad that you decided to go with that. I gave you a small scale drawing, but everything was absolutely too exactly the code, and it was small, but it being blew up, it would show you pretty much everything. But just want to tell you a little bit about that flooring. It's just to let people know, you probably won't have that terrible rank smell there anymore, because it's impervious to chemical, water, and also supposed mildly fluid, so that way, which the old stuff pretty much held that. So excellent choice there, I think.
It's much easier to keep clean.
Absolutely, it's going to last forever. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, sir. This time we're going to new business. First item, discuss and possibly approve resolution R0324-01, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Harriman, Tennessee, authorizing the submission of an application for fiscal year 2024 state community development block grant funds. Motion to approve.
Motion. I'll second.
Councilwoman Harris, second Councilman Johnson. Councilwoman Harris.
No.
Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. We all know what these funds are going for, correct? Sidewalks.
Yes, sir.
Call roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris. John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve resolution R0324-02, a resolution of the city of Harriman calling for a public hearing on the proposed annexation of tax parcel located on 555 Pine Ridge Road and adjacent properties, 1, 046DA004.00, number 2, 046DA003.00, and number 3, 046DA001.00 by the City of Harriman, Tennessee, and to the City of Harriman by owner concept and approving plan of services. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion for that.
Motion by Councilman Brackett, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Frost. Floor is open. Councilman Brackett.
No, sir.
Councilman Frost.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion.
Did we get everything worked out on the water? Is it gonna be an issue?
We're still working with it, trying to decide exactly who will be providing water. That conclusion has not been made yet.
So, item C says wrong central utility, we'll just keep that in there. It's on the the third page. C1. I know it says it doesn't include any customers for their area, but I guess what you indicated to Mr. Mee is fine, so.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve increasing the refuse and trash collection fee from $15 to $16 per month effective April 2024. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Frost. Second.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Brackett. Councilman Frost.
Yes. Oh, no, I ain't got that. Sorry.
Councilman Brackett.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion.
Yeah, I would like to bring up something on it. When this was brought about, just so everybody knows, this used to be a benefit to the taxpayers of Harriman. It was a benefit. We got garbage service with the taxes we paid. So one of the things that previous councils did and everything is when we had to switch, because it run into a big cost thing, we got the help of the citizens by basically kicking in on garbage service and everything. So we're not really out a whole lot of money. We're the 67 cents or whatever per, household that's gone up is still a lot cheaper than 20 years ago when the city was picking it up. So I just want everybody to keep that in mind, that and we're doing a lot of things in Harriman and offering a lot of things, and so we convince people to, kick in and pay garbage service, but they also lost the benefit 20 years ago, whatever we did, when we started charging. So that's why we've always been looking at, if we can keep it close to budget, is kind of why we've always left it alone. That's all I have.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
No.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve an expenditure to not exceed $19,000 for a golf cart path repairs.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson. Second.
I'll second it.
Second by Councilman Brackett. Councilman Johnson.
It's something that really needs to be taken care of up there. It's in pretty rough shape, that cart path is. So that's all I've got.
Councilman Brackett.
I concur with Councilman Johnson. That's my belief as well.
Any other discussion?
Is this within your budget, Charlie?
Yes, ma'am. Charlie, did the guy that's doing this, didn't he say he was gonna make it 6 foot wide instead of, what, 4?
Yeah, in some areas, it's easier him just to make a wider path, but
Yeah,
that can be extra charge.
that's all I got.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
Motion carries. That's all we have on the agenda. On to council remarks, Councilman Ross.
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
Yes.
Councilman Brackett.
No, sir, Mayor.
Councilman Meade.
No, sir.
I don't have anything. We have a workshop to follow, so motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second that.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Brackett. All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, like sign.